So thank you everyone for joining in for today's session, and hope you're joining the today's weather, and we are all set for the session. My name is Shreya Ruda. I'm volunteer with North India chapter, and with me we have Preetam, who's our president. Then we have Vikas, who's our vice president. And for the professional development, we see Nilima here. Nilima is the VP volunteers. Then we have Sandeep also in the session, Sandeep Galot, who is the chapter secretary, and Praveen, who is our VP membership, and Jay Kumar, who is our VP finance. And on the behalf of entire NIC, we welcome you here for the Learning Bytes 2.0 third episode. Okay, the topic of today's session is benchmarking diversity and inclusion. And as we all know, we all work with diverse teams every time, and we see with people different perspectives, they have different experiences, they have different cultural backgrounds, and we want to know that how to leverage that for our business and the project benefit. And today we have our speaker, Preeti. Preeti Singh is here, who is the lead corporate training consultant. Hi, Preeti. So just to introduce Preeti, she has over 15 years of experience in the corporate training and human resource management. She's a certified trainer of POSH and diversity and inclusion consultant. She's also a practitioner for the gender sensitization, creating equal opportunity policies. And she also conducts workshop for mindfulness and public relations. And I can go on and talk about her, but in the best interest of time, I will invite her and welcome on the behalf of entire North India chapter. Hello, Preeti.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, Shreya.
Okay, so we see that we are keeping participants on the mute for the session, as the session is only for the short duration, but we encourage everyone to post your questions in the chat section and we will take it from there. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Preeti.
Good morning, everyone. It's the way Shreya mentioned. I hope you all are also enjoying North India weather, because this is a North India chapter. And Shreya, thank you for such lovely introduction that I received in the morning. That was very pretty powerful one. And when Shreya mentioned a word called consultant, that means, a lot of that I carry on my shoulders, and I have to keep that work going on. So just to give you a little more brief and attach it along. So my mission, there is a mission when I'm doing all of this. We all have missions, and my mission is to empower RWDs. So RWDs are right of people with disability. So when I say RWDs, that makes me say that I want to empower them to live a life, to grow into a beautiful individual and live a life of dignity. And this all falls under the social justice and empowerment
I
concept.
guess, Preeti, your voice is breaking.
2016 PWP.
Is it only for me or for everyone?
Act is when we see that they have recognized ability. 7 straight 21 disability. A section in that we have to give equal opportunity to taking forward. I'll be sharing my PPT. Yes, of course. So when I'm saying that I'm taking forward that my mission is to provide them equal opportunities, and especially with intellectual disability or special learning disability. So there is so much that I have been doing, and as Shreya mentioned, it is all about bridging the gaps. It is like noticing when and then providing them the custom So our topic, as Shreya mentioned, it is about benchmarking diversity, equity, and inclusion. So these are very powerful words, and we have been hearing about these words. But what exactly they mean is what we all together will be discussing. So I would prefer that it is not a one-way communication. We do because I need to learn as well. And as we go further, I would take you to a lovely video. Just see it. The topic of this video is we.
We may be the most powerful word in the English language because there is a we behind every important endeavor, behind every major milestone, and behind every hard-won achievement. We accomplish more together than we can alone. We are the organization of strong starts, of healthy lives, of new skills, of safe havens. We are the organization of giving voice to the voiceless and those that serve them. We are the organization of stronger communities, of neighborhoods on the rise. We are more than fundraisers. We are hand raisers and game changers. We are experts, advocates, and champions. We are an unstoppable force for good in Greater Chicago. We are changing the story. On behalf of the almost 2 million people United Way helped this year, thank you for being part of the power of we.
So, what was one word? Can anybody just mention one word, any one word from the entire clip that you saw that touched your heart? We. Thank you, Anuj. Any other? Yes, Shivam, we. Diversity. Very well. Anybody else? Anything? So, what I picked over here was game changer. Did anybody notice this word coming in as game changer? Then there was another word called as champions. So we all are, everything is constituting of us. So my belief when I watch this video, and this is a very regular video that I keep watching, so it brings a lot of belief in me about demystifying the concept of diversity and inclusion. And diversity, equity, inclusion, these are three powerful words, and these are the words which are need of the hour. Taking you further, so diversity is the mix, equity is balancing the mix with the resources, the right kind of resources, and inclusion is making the mix. How can anybody share any one point or any idea behind this three phrases that I have mentioned? Okay. So let me put it in a very simple way, giving you an example of cooking a dish. So diversity is the mix. So we know we have to make a beautiful and very attractive dish, maybe a bowl of salad. And then we have got those mixed with us. But we have to give the equal amount. Yes, treat equally, ensure no one. Yes, Vineet, you said it right, everything. Bringing everything together. So it is like bringing together and how to mix. अब ये देखा जाए नमक ज़्यादा ना हो काली मिर्ची ज़्यादा ना हो and vinegar का वो tanginess ज़्यादा ना आ जाए. So we have to have the right kind of mix. That comes the equity, and inclusion is making perfect mix. So that we all enjoy it together. So that is why I say that it's the movement. It is a movement or of the environment where diverse thinking is valued. So that is something that we have to start living. We need to create a very inclusive culture. And of course, when I'm saying inclusive culture, that means that we have to learn how to respect every individual that who is around us. And when I'm saying giving a respect to every individual, that takes me by giving. We can only respect if we give the opportunity of not only opportunity to the individuals, opportunity to the ideas, opportunity to the creativity that an individual holds. So it has to be the passion, the drive in everybody. So over here in the slide, we also see diversity in a very simple way. It is written diversity all the way in which people differ. Very, very normal language that we use, which is absolutely fine. That's how we have to learn. And when we say equity, that is giving the fair treatment, access, opportunity, and advancement for all people. One's identity cannot predict the outcome. And then comes the most powerful thing, that is the inclusion. A variety of people have power, they have a voice and decision-making authority. Everybody has got that sense. It's just that we have to recognize and build it forward. Taking it, I would like to just break it a little more. Diversity in the workplace. So what is diversity? Anybody over here? What do you think is diversity? Anybody would like to write in the chat box? So as I said, that these are the three terms which we use for the individuals. How to collaborate. All right, how to collaborate. Diversity is probably how to collaborate. Very well. People from different background. Very well said, Deepthi. Yes, different culture, life experiences, Shreya. The variety of society, workplace. Yes. So we know the diversity comes, the DEI comes, the three terms, they come with the diverse backgrounds. Diverse backgrounds, diverse skills, diverse experience. Now, when we come to the different geolocation, yes, of course, that is the most important part of it. Because we all are from different geographical people, different gender, yes. So we all know what diversity is. So that involves us in their different characteristics, nature, ideas. We all have different perspectives here. And we need to value those perspectives. The way you just said, different locations, different abilities and different disabilities, they are the most powerful part also. We only normally get to see people with ability. Going for the interview, we have to show our best of the skills. We have to show the best of us, How and why? Why not disability be part of it? Gender, age, we all recognize it. We all. Why is 58 as the limit that, okay, that's your retirement age? Why? I think after 58, the experience is so much there that every individual, every organization will ask for, because that's the experience that the individual carry. The process, the procedures that the individual has learned over the time in his different kind of institutions. So here, there is this study which was mentioned in the workplace and how people are balancing. But if you see this graph, you'll find that the balancing act comes little, it's not coming so loud. It is there, it is happening, systems are changing, diversity is coming in, but in a slow pace. And equality versus equity. What is equality? I'm sure we will say equal opportunities. That comes the first thing in our mind, giving the equal treatment to everybody. This is what comes to our mind. Then how is equality different from equity? To all, Anuj, right? To all. Treat people equally. Right, Rahim? Yes. Equality is treating everybody, taking everybody in the same. So if you see the picture, equal opportunity is given, that they all have to pluck the fruit according to their abilities, right, Pankhuri? According to the abilities. Now the equality scene सबको दे दिया है कि आपने ये टास्क करना है, टास्क दे दिया है और सब करेंगे भी, लेकिन आपने इक्विटी के बारे में सुना? But have you provided the right kind of resources? There is where we have to see equity is empowering. Yes, Vivek, equity is empowering. Giving the right kind of resources. If you see in the picture, the equal opportunity is given, but look at the height. Height differ aa gaya. What happens when the equity comes in? Because you are providing right kind of resources to the person and removing all kinds of barriers. The barriers that have been the hindrance in the path of achievements, in the path of reaching to his or her goal. Giving them the fair justice by giving the procedures, by giving the right amount of resource, then comes inclusion. Inclusion is, we know that, okay, this is the group and we have people surrounding. That is exclusion. Then segregate. उनको अलग ही कर देते हैं. Then हम उनको ले आते हैं अपने अंदर, सिस्टम के अंदर ले आते हैं, पर उनका एक सब ग्रुप बना देते हैं. And just at times we show the sympathy, and that's when we bring them in our system. Is it right? What is important, sympathy or empathy? What is more important? Empathy. Yes, Saurabh. Empathy is important, not sympathy. उनको sympathy नहीं चाहिए. उनको ये नहीं जानना कि वो बेचारा बेचारी वर्ड नहीं जानते और क्यों देना किसी को? Don't pity them. Let's not learn how to pity them, but yes, empathy. और empathy होगा तो inclusion बहुत बढ़िया से होगा. We need to build that inclusive culture for them. They need to be felt that they are wanted, they are welcomed in the organization. Embrace those differences. Every individual, even they have come with the set kind of skills which we don't want to recognize. We don't want to. See, there is a difference. Le aayenge, but we don't want to recognize it. Because हमने वो एक preconceived notion बना लिया है that they will not be able to perform. Have we even given them the chance? Have we even tried to bring them? Taking an example, of an inclusive work culture, there is a lot of respect. उनके लिए support system भी बना दिया है, सब कुछ कर दिया है. But then उस environment में हम में से कितने लोग जाएंगे और बोलेंगे आज की चाय आप हमारे साथ पियो या let's go for coffee? Not naming an organization, a very big organization. It is a globally big organization, and I had gone for a sensitization program there. I'm just narrating you a small episode that happened. So when I was going for a sensitization program, I had come across a young, beautiful girl who was visually impaired sitting at the reception. Now, when I went inside, I just asked the first question that I asked the entire team who was attending the workshop, put your hand on your heart and say, how many of you know her name? हर रोज आप उसको मिलते हो, हर रोज आप उनको greet करते हो, नहीं करते हो, put your hand. And trust me, I'm not fibbing at it. Only 2 people said, I know her name. Is it so difficult? We know the name and we laugh and we are happy that 9:30 a.m. we are in our organization, we are charged to work. कितने लोगों ने वो किया? So where is the inclusion? Right? Is diversity important? And why? Let me hear from you. Please put it on your chat box. Is diversity important? Very important. Can you just elaborate a little bit? Why? Yes, why? I want one sentence on why. We all know diversity is important. That's the reason we all are here benchmarking diversity and inclusion today. But why? Yes, very well. For more outlooks? Yes, Pankuri, for more outlooks. Anybody else? For not having any limitations. We need not have any kind of limitations. Yes, we can leverage the knowledge, their abilities, their skills. We need to bring it forward. Am I audible? Is there any disturbance? Because I think you'll have to go mute. Okay, thanks, Vikas. Yeah. Yes, we all have to. It's perfect. Okay, Rahim, you said it's perfect. Okay, I'm audible. I really liked Mr. JPS Kalra mentioning what this different experiences that we are getting. Trust me, what benefit can autistic child get on his table? Can anybody just quickly tell me on that? Exchange of knowledge, diversity helps. Yes, an autistic child, what can he get on table in an organization? They usually bring perfection mindset, right? Because they think out of the box. For them, it is not, yes, how to communicate in adverse situations. Yes, they really know their skill. They know how to bring it out of the box thought. People who have SLD, specific learning disability, they really know how to come up to a person giving them an opportunity if they have to make some kind of decision. They're quick. Mathematical skills. They really know what the history lies. I know I have worked with a young adult. To my surprise, he really knew the net worth of Ambani, net worth of Amitabh Bachchan, and I used to be so shocked. And he could narrate that, okay, in past times we have done on such and such date, we did this kind of our meeting. So they become the intrigue part only if we recognize them. That's the reason diversity is important. But you all must be wondering, why am I just bringing and talking only about them? Just because we very rarely talk about them. We talk for ourselves, we bring majorly about the gender, about age, about nationality, religion. Honestly, मैंने बहुत कम neurodiversity के बारे में सुना है. I have been going to summits and I was so touched about it. That was an empowering summit. But वो पूरा summit diversity inclusion के बारे में था, लेकिन वहाँ पे एक भी invitee नहीं था who was with special needs, with differently abled. And वहाँ पे there was no accommodation also provided. जाता उसके लिए कोई reasonable accommodation भी नहीं थी जो मुझे नहीं दिखी. So I'll just want to understand this activity cannot be done. There is activity act of seeing. Now again, I'll just question, when you enter into maybe a restaurant or a mall and you come across somebody, you're seeing it for the first time, him or her or they, what things come and sit in your mind? What is the first thing that come and sit in your mind? Or if you're gone into a party and you are seeing people around you and you don't know what happens, you don't know them. Yes, their appearance and neutral. What else? Confusion. Well said, Pankari. One odd more. मेट्रो में जा रहे हो, सामने बैठे हुए हैं कोई या को पैसेंजर, क्या आता है? Yes, 3 things are mentioned. हम एक तरीके का अनकॉन्शियस ओपिनियन बना लेते हैं. Sometimes awkwardness. Very well said. Sometimes awkwardness. Apprehensions. Do we make some unconscious opinions about them? We don't know them. Then why be judgment? We become judgmental. Just by appearance, we do. If anybody says over here, I have become judgmental. I will not deny that. Until and unless I keep checking on myself, that not with the appearance. So we will not go by how rich that person looks, how beautiful that person looks. That's the judgment, that's the perceive that we have opportunity to find similar mindset. I'll narrate another incident. I was in a mall, and we all had gone for a movie. Now we talk that diversity inclusion should be taught at a very early age from the. I mean, हम लोग, like I talk about my time, so itna nahi tha. In my school times, we weren't taught about all this, but now people are talking very heavy about this topic. I was going for a movie, and there was a young adult, say 22-year-old. उसका लेस खुल गया था. उसका लेस खुल गया और वो बच्चा था एस्केलेटर पे. आई वाज राइट देयर एज वेल. और उससे पहले, नाउ दैट चाइल्ड ही डिडंट नो दैट मेरे को एस्केलेटर पे नहीं बांधना, कोशिश नहीं करनी. सो वो वहां पर ही, टॉल मैन, 6 feet 4 inches टॉल मैन, इमेजिन ही इज जस्ट ट्राइंग टू टाई हिज लेस शू लेस देयर. उसके सामने there was group of boys almost his age, and they were all whispering. They were all whispering. None of them thought that, okay, let me extend a helping hand. Nobody thought that okay, escalator is not safe. Anybody could have just said, held a hand and said, with the permission that, okay, you can do it. But नहीं, वो एक gossip बन गया, वो एक उनके लिए topic बन गया. And they were whispering and giggling, which is not right. So why make unconscious opinion about somebody? Be little noticeable, so that जो उस बच्चे के साथ obstacle आ रहा है, जो hurdle आ रही है, उसको आप help कर दो. Person with disability needs that. Person with disability needs a good communication. He needs good gestures from you, and he will also appreciate a helping hand only if he sees that and he allows that. So here is where we talk about neurodiversity. How many of you know this word called neurodiversity? Hearing first time. Saurabh, I'm very happy that you're very honest about it. Same here, Pankuri. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay. Now we see, same, Sai, we see so many brains here, and they all have different colors. Can anybody say, yes, neuro brain related diversity? Yes, Mr. Kalra. Now tell me, which color are you just picking? Have you associated immediately to a color? Quickly, when you saw the slide, were you able to pick? Yes. What color did you pick, Vipin? Blue. Saurabh picked blue. Why blue, Saurabh? Oh, Mukesh also blue. Why blue? Green, Pankuri. Okay, let me hear from Pankuri first. Not picked any, right? So what is happening here? When we are talking about this, what is happening here? We all are different because it is at the center. All right, Rahim, because it is at the center. That was purple. Perception matters. Yes. Green. Pankuri, why green? Because you like green. Can I say maybe that is the color of environment? Maybe you're associating with plants. Could be. But that is my thought. You might think it otherwise. Could be. See, could be. I thought in this way, probably you are thinking somewhere else, something else. And one of you said, because it's in the center. In the center, I see is the purple color. Just because it is in the center. Maybe I would relate it to something else. There were two gentlemen who said blue. Can I know why blue? My favorite color. It's a cool color, maybe? It's a color which keeps you calm? Mukesh said the same, because it may be. I am thinking this way. I don't know about what you are thinking. I think it's going to keep you calm. It's a very cool wave kind of a color. So what is happening here? We all have got our brains. We all are wired differently, And what we are doing over here right now is we are rewiring. How are we rewiring? We are listening to each other, picking each other's perspectives. Maybe today, Pankhuri, you have picked a perspective that green, maybe it is related to an environment. Blue, maybe because I feel that I need to calm down. Maybe because it's a color which is very cool, give me a very cool feeling. Yes. So we have picked and we have rewired sky color, and sky is the limit, right? So we have associated ourselves. Now, this is what is neurologically thought. We are using our brains. We are bringing that difference. Now, when I say difference, will you agree that we all are unique? No two people are same. For that matter, twins are also not same. Twins are also different. Same time, same womb, everything same. Still, they are different, just like our fingerprints. Our fingerprints are unique. No two fingerprints match up. Anybody who says that they do match up? Anybody? So the way, I don't know whether you have ever seen that we have fingerprints and we have got the patterns here. किसी का कुछ pattern आता है, किसी का oval pattern आएगा, किसी का spiral होगा, किसी का arch बने होते हैं. So we all have different patterns. So when we say different patterns over here, I would like to say the patterns of 21 disabilities. So we are all different patterns. We have 21 recognized disabilities by PWD Act 2016. And they all are unique. Just to say a few patterns over here would be ADHD, autism, SLD, dyslexia. These are very common, visually impaired, hearing impaired. How about, wheelchair bound, locomotive disability, CP? So these are all. How about having neurological issues, people with high grade disability? They all are displaying themselves in a very difficult way, in a very different way. Deaf and dumb, they don't happen to come under neurodisability. Why? Because it is about the organs, it is about the senses. It's nothing to do about your neurological cognitive thoughts. So neurodisability is more on when you are cognitively little challenged. And coming to, they are all happy individuals. If I'm saying about autistic, about dyslexia, you all must have watched a movie called as Tare Zameen Par. How many of you have watched? Seen Pankhuri. Did you know about dyslexia before watching Tare Zameen Par? No. So that is awareness. That is awareness. How many of you watched about the movie called My Name is Khan? Rahim has watched it. And did you know about this specific? Yes, Vinay, you have also watched it. We didn't know about it. नहीं पता होता. Down syndrome क्यों हमें पता चलता है? Why Down syndrome is so recognizable? पता है किसी को Down syndrome, extra chromosome? People talk about that? Okay. Why? Part of our curriculum. All right. So Vivek said right, it's part of the curriculum. Having said that, because of the appearance, एकदम से हमें पता चलता है वो न्यूरोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर है, बट वो हमें एकदम से पता चल जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ द अपीयरेंस. नाउ पीपल विद स्पेसिफिक लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटी हमें नहीं पता चल सकता. हमें विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड के बारे में पता चल जाता है, हमें सीपी के बारे में पता चल जाता है, बट हमें एकदम से इनके बारे में नहीं पता चलता, SLD के बारे में. So coming to the neurodiversity, coming back to here, these are the very common words that I have used now. It is about the neurological, the brain. The brain is thinking very differently, as in the neurological aspects are not at the right place. group of people, when we are talking about a group. So we have got other two words, that is neuroatypical, neurodiversity, neurominority. Neuroatypical, they refer to as individuals who has less typical cognitive variation. They are atypical. That is the name, that is the phrase, that is the label that probably anybody would give them. But they are accepted, universal accepted names, neuroatypical. So this must be a very new term for all of you. So the people who have neuroatypical, they come like autism, ADHD, they all come under neuroatypical. So what is neurotypical? What do you think neurotypical can be? Neuroatypical बता दिया, neurotypical क्या होगा? Very simple. Atypical बता दिया तो typical क्या होगा? जो so called perfect लोग हैं, उनको हम typical बोल देते हैं. Intellectually, cognitively, they are very strong. The functional is absolutely weapon, so called normal. जिनमें कोई neurological conditions नहीं है. So these are again very important, very powerful, neurotypical, neuroatypical, very. Now, why do we call them neurodivergent? Neurodivergent because they are thinking loud. They are thinking out of the box. Fostering neurodiversity. What do you mean by the word called as fostering? Anybody? Fostering. It is like growing, giving that power, empowering the person to enhance, to increase. Yes, Saurabh. So that is what is needed, making use of their ability and growing them, enabling. So do you think when I'm saying about fostering, it is only fostering an individual, or we can foster, or we can grow the company also, the organization as well? Yes, we can. Because of their social understanding, the group can be. Yes, you said it right. The information is given to them. They need the process. Now, जब हम processing में आते हैं, किसी का processing system ज़्यादा fast चलता है, किसी का slow चलता है, किसी का balance चलता है. तो maybe इनका थोड़ा slow चलता है. तो जब इनका slow चलता है, हम अगर उनके level पे थोड़ा आ जाए and then take them along with us, don't you think that we are having a different skill coming along with us? Maybe you have got back end में इतना typing का काम पड़ा हुआ है. Yes, that is the communication, Rahim. इतना back end में उनका काम पड़ा हुआ है, but they don't have that kind of bandwidth to complete. So maybe they have somebody who has the typing skills good and is perfect for the job. Why not employ? It's just when it comes to having an ADHD person, we need to give them the right kind of accommodation, the right kind of seating places. We have to understand what is and how can the barriers be removed. So it's all about acknowledging their strengths. Like autistic big people, like I just mentioned, they can retain information beautifully. Their memory is too sharp. They have knowledge.
Sorry to interrupt you, Preeti. I know everyone is well engrossed in the session, but we have to do a quick time check. We have to keep last 10 minutes for Q&A as well.
Okay, how much do we have? We
have
okay.
close.
Okay. I've seen it. Yeah. So coming up again, I'm taking only autistic example because autistic is a very well known, and we have seen My Name is Khan. So their IQ level is very nice. They have an ability to design things perfectly, to model things very well. So we have to provide them with the reasonable accommodations. From simple, अगर हमने उनको simple accommodations दे दिए, then that is when they will be able to thrive. We need to leverage that. For example, as simple as that, I'll again give you an example of an ADHD person. He or she, ADHD people, they are very time bound. So अगर हम उनका टाइम फ्रेम माइंड में रखें कि अगर उनको फॉर एग्जांपल ऑटिस्टिक चाइल्ड को ही नीड्स 11 o'clock is the break time, उसका क्लॉक वर्क ही ऐसे करेगा कि 11 बज गया है, मेरे को अब आई नीड माई कॉफी, तो एक्सेप्टेड. ADHD है, उसको घूमना है, वो घूम घूम के काम करता है. Provide him a space where he can move around. So that is what I mean by reasonable accommodation. Discipline is must. Yes, discipline is must. But ये discipline उनके बीच में कौन लेके आ सकता है? एक buddy लेके आ सकता है. So why not build a buddy system? A hand holding definitely is required. Yes, Rahim, I'm glad you agree. Buddy system works. That buddy should be changed every week. So there is so much, like Shreya just mentioned, we are little short of time. So I'll quickly show you another video. This video is very nice, as in I feel how children after 12th, our parents are lost. What after 12th? बाकियों के लिए तो कॉलेज है, इनके लिए क्या है? They also aspire to go. They are very with the normal thoughts. But there are few lucky ones who have gone. Let's hear them what they are saying. So we are students from UCF Inclusive Education Services.
What is your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing is go to the football games because it's so much fun.
My favorite thing is meet new people and like get involved in clubs on campus.
I love to hang out, like at the bookstore.
My favorite thing to do is probably bug him because we bug each other half the time.
Watch TV. What do you love about UCF? I like to stay in the dorms and hanging out with my roommates and going to lunch and walking on campus.
I love about UCF the football games,
The campus. I love living in the dorm.
How does it feel to be in college?
You know, I never imagined I would live outside of my house, of course, with the disabilities that I have, but it's incredible.
It feels like that I'm with my friends and like they make me so happy.
different, away from home, away from everything, your own environment, making new decisions in college on your own.
To be on my own with no parents. It feels good.
What did it feel like when you found out you were coming to UCF?
I felt happy, like moving away from home and coming to a new environment and stuff.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I got in.
I bawled into tears. I was ecstatic. I was happy. I was like, I get to be a UCF night. It was the best feeling to have.
When I got the approval that came in the mail, and I was so happy about it, and I was so happy about it and excited and excited because I'm going to be a UCF night. I couldn't stand it.
What does being a knight mean to you? I love to be a knight. It's like so happy that I love to be a knight because I'm here with my closest friends that I really love.
It means that you can follow your dream and become whatever you want to be in this world, and that it doesn't matter what disability you have, UCF is here and they're going to help you succeed in any way possible.
Hi, my name is Julian. I'm a UCF Knight at UCF.
I'm a UCF Knight.
I'm a knight.
I am a UCF Knight.
I am also a UCF night.
Good job, Pete.
Me too.
How was it? How was this?
Amazing video.
I'm so glad, Shreya, you liked it. And this was a very powerful video. Benefits of having neurodiverse team. We don't have time to discuss. So of course, these are the points which we know. And I also, you all have been mentioning about it. Thank you, Prakash. Yes, it was very, very empowering video. Did you all hear that it was about following the passion, the dream that they have? And most of them, they were saying, because I wanted to be in my dorm, because I wanted to be all by myself, away from parents, and I wanted to make new friends. So that is what they lack. That is where we have to bring a true inclusion. Inclusion just doesn't fall in a bracket of, maybe the diversity that we have heard, age, gender, sex, whatever. We have just heard about them. Let's develop the passion to develop. Yes, Rahim, this was my word. Let's develop a liking and bringing them on board with us. That's a true inclusion. Coming to an end over here, I'm leaving you with a thought and with a wonderful quote that is: diversity is a fact, equity is a choice, inclusion is an action, belonging is an outcome. I hope you will live by with this quote, which is my mantra in life. I always talk about this. Everything is around this very powerful quote. Thank you, Vivek. So here I come to an end of my session. Shreya, all yours now.
Thank you, Preeti. This was a wonderful session and definitely good takeaways for everyone.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Okay. Now I request Vikas. Okay. I think first we should go for Q&A. Everyone who has any questions, please write in the chat. We can take from there. Any questions, guys? Or everything was all clear to everyone?
I'm glad it was all clear. I made it try to make it as simple as possible. But in case there is any question, and if you are not able to,
we have one from Jagmohan. So
Manju.
I'm reading it for everyone. How can we bring in diversity inclusion in virtual work environment?
Diversity and inclusion in virtual. So what are we doing over here? If you're talking only about diversity and inclusion in the virtual work environment, what are we doing over here right now? And how we have proved ourselves up till now. We have survived those 2 years of COVID, and we have got it wonderfully. How? By accepting each other, by accepting that there can be fallouts, there can be the mood swings. The females, they have to work at home as well. They have to look after the child's homework and the schooling, where vis-a-vis to the husband's needs and the khana pina, everything. And still she has managed to be working very strong with her team virtually. So we have proved. So that is a very true, good example of bringing diversity and inclusion in the virtual environment. Yes, the challenge was there because, I work with neurodiverse people. The challenge was there with the neurodiverse people. उनके लिए चैलेंज बहुत था बिकॉज उनको बैठने की आदत नहीं है फॉर लॉन्ग वर्किंग आवर्स. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Rohit.
I see one more question from Vipin Saneja. It's how to start with implementing equity in construction projects.
In construction projects. Now, equity, so very simple. जो मैंने आपको एक screen दिखाई थी, एक slide दिखाई थी. So I'll just take you from that slide. अगर किस height की difference है, तो try to give the right kind of resource. Height different hai, how to increase IQ of child having, okay, I thought that was related to this. So agar height mein difference hai, agar usko kuch cheez carry mein difference hai, so then provide the right kind of resources. The people on that site would know what kind of resources will help that person. अगर उसको एक बड़ा बॉक्स चाहिए खड़ा होके कुछ काम करने के लिए, provide him with that. अगर उसको staircase चाहिए with a different height, provide him with that. So it is on to us how do we give those kind of resources, and then equity comes in. I read one question which was just a flash about IQ. Is equity always resources? Most of the times. Because equal opportunity की हम बात करते हैं most of the times. Policies बनती हैं हमारी organization में, equity को लेके policies बनती हैं. There was a question which Shreya, I was just reading about the IQ, how to increase IQ of a child.
Yeah. I see a question related to IQ. Let me read. How can we increase IQ of child having less IQ?
This is a very, it's a very different topic altogether. हम लोग सोचते हैं अगर हम न्यूरो डाइवर्सिटी को लेके चले तो हम लोग सोचते हैं इनका आईक्यू लेवल इतना थोड़ा है 60% आईक्यू लेवल लेके चले हुए इसको हम एनहांस कैसे करें कैसे बढ़ाएं पर आप ये समझिए यस एनहांसमेंट ऑफ एनीथिंग इज पॉसिबल वो बच्चा इनेट नेचर लेके पैदा हुआ है विद डिफरेंट आईक्यू बट यस वी कैन build it. Now, how can we build it? It's not a very specific because IQ के अंदर बहुत कुछ आता है. So we have to see, we have to measure those points कि IQ के अंदर कौन सा point उस बच्चे का क्या कम है. So we have to work in collaboration with other quotients also. So IQ is not only the quotient that we need to see at that point of time. We need to see their EQ. We need to see their CQ, SQ. And then the biggest Q is adversity quotient, that is AQ. So ये एक तरीका है उस बच्चे का IQ को हम बाकी सबको अगर हम बढ़ाएंगे तो IQ अपने आप बढ़ेगा. This is one of the ways.
Thanks, Preeti. And I think now we will just be able to take one more question,
Anji,
which is how to identify needs of resources.
How to identify
needs of resources?
As in, can you just elaborate a little bit? How?
Like you said, in the construction industry, if somebody needs a stair, we provide that. I mean, how you come up to know with what exactly we need to provide to the person?
So that is something we need to recognize. अब यहाँ पे अगर हम बैठ के वो डिस्कस करें मैंने आपको एक एग्जांपल ही दे सकी हूँ सो वी नीड टू रिकॉग्नाइज दैट व्हेन वी आर फिजिकली विद दैट पर्सन क्या हुआ था क्या हुआ था जब हमारी एजुकेशन सिस्टम वाज हैविंग द बैरियर्स अभी कोविड के टाइम पे क्या हुआ एजुकेशन सिस्टम में कितने बैरियर्स आ गए थे लेकिन क्या करा what was what did the government provide children with laptops with connectivity so that the resources उनके पास पहुंचे गए हैं उनके पास पहुंचाए गए हैं so that वो बच्चे भी पढ़ पाएं तो रिसोर्सेज को उन्होंने रिकॉग्नाइज किया कि क्या चैलेंज आ रहा है वो चैलेंज को उन्होंने देखा वो चैलेंज को उन्होंने गैप को ब्रिज करने के लिए दे हैव सेंट दोज रिसोर्सेज देयर उनके पास पहुंचाया सो वर्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट में हमने सबसे ज्यादा रिसोर्सेज हमने देखे हैं आपको एक प्यारी सी एग्जांपल बताती हूँ नाउ देयर वाज अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट दे वुड सेलिब्रेट एवरीबॉडीज बर्थडे टुगेदर अब एक दिन एक वो बर्थडे आया जहाँ पे वो सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर पा रहे थे कि वर्चुअली सब अपनी टी कॉफी ये सब लेके आओ दैट्स अ वेरी नॉर्मल थिंग जो चल रहा था अ क्विक वे आई एम जस्ट एक्सप्लेनिंग यू उनके जो टीम मैनेजर था उन्होंने क्या किया he had booked Domino's for each and every employee and made sure he had timed it so beautifully that he made sure सबके घरों की घंटी almost एक ही टाइम पे बजे और जब सबके एक ही टाइम पे बजे वो सब लोग अपने अपने लेके आए इट वाज अ सरप्राइज वो लेके आए वो बैठे और सबने एंजॉय किया तो वो एक तरह का एक एंजॉयमेंट रिसोर्स था So it is all about thinking out of the box and providing those resources.
Thank you, Preeti. I am just reading the last message in the chat, which is from my very good friend Anuj. It is equality is giving equal opportunity, but equity was offering right tools. So, isn't it the case that when we say equality, that must include offering equal opportunities as well as equal tools to all?
Yes, of course. Of course. दोनों बैलेंस्ड हैं दोनों इकट्ठे चलते हैं पर कहीं ना कहीं हम मिस कर जाते हैं हम बात करते हैं प्रोवाइडिंग गिविंग देम द रीजनेबल अकोमोडेशंस. मैं न्यूरो डाइवर्सिटी को लेके चलती हूँ. हम बात करते हैं प्रोवाइडिंग देम द रीजनेबल अकोमोडेशंस, बट वी फॉरगेट टू सी whether that wheelchair of an individual will fit in perfectly in one of the lifts or not. Whether the door जहाँ से वो अंदर जा रहे हैं वो compatible है उसको अंदर लेके जाने के लिए कि नहीं. तो इक्वालिटी तो हमने दे दिया, इक्विटी के लिए हमें सोचना है. हमने उनको ले आए हैं. We have got. I just miss कुछ आया था अभी, splash हुआ था. So they do go together. It is just about equality दे दिया है, पर उसको जो gap हमें दिख रहा है उसको bridge करने के लिए is equity. That is the resource. Providing the right kind of education, right kind of understanding, and then building those resources.
Thank you, Preeti. Well answered. And we have received the reply also from Manoj, validating what's offered is the right fit. And he also wrote perfect. Okay. So that's almost suffice what almost all the questions we have the chat. If we have missed anything, maybe we can take that offline.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I think we are just approaching towards the end of the session. So I would like to request Vikas for the vote of thanks and for sharing the videos information with everyone. Hey, Vikas.
Sure. Thank you, Shreya. Could you please confirm if you can hear me well? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Preeti, well, thank you very much. I think it's not only just a refresher, but also a new perspective that you have brought in through the videos and the example and the anecdotes that you shared. And that also reminded me one of my personal experience on diversity topic. So we were 96 people in a conference room, and our global head of D and I did our diversity and inclusion. That person walked in. He had one question and three possible answers. He just voiced out the question and said that, how many of you feel that option one is the right answer? 80 people out of 96 raised their hand and he said, can you please come to this corner? And then he said, out of the remaining lot, how many of you feel, so you don't feel the first is the right answer, so how many of you feel the second is the probably good choice? And out of the remaining 16, 14 people raised their hand, and he asked them, can you come on this side? And then the remaining two were on the other side of the room. And then he said, let me take a guess. 80 people in the room, and I was among those 80. Probably in your education, you had either engineering or mathematics or physics in your graduation. And we were surprised. Yes, I did my engineering. All of us were from engineering background or mathematics, physics, etc. And then he goes, in the middle one, probably you did something in either data or finance or accounts, etc. And yes, they were like BCom, CAs, those people. And then he asked that remaining two, you are probably from humanities background. Can you tell us what have you done in your education? One person had done MA in Urdu, and the second lady, she had done post-graduation in some humanity, some form, which I don't recollect. And then he goes, same question, and you have three different viewpoints. Now imagine if in my organization, I had only hired engineers, I would have never got other two perspectives of the solution. That's how you get the inclusivity, and that's how you get other perspective as well. Otherwise, you just keep thinking in one direction. You never innovate. So that was the day when I was completely sold to the idea of diversity. And diversity not only in terms of gender, which we typically keep coming around, it's also education, culture, race, ethnicity, where you come from, your skill, your age, everything put together that brings diversity. And today I learned a new term, neurodiversity, which I'm sure most of us, if not all, would have heard it for the first time. And I will definitely Google it to learn more about it. So thank you for that, and thank you for your association with PMI North India chapter, Preeti.